Hi guys, Philip here. So in this video, I'm going to show you a detailed and honest review of Contentpen, Contentpen.ai, and I'm going to show you inside the dashboard. I'm going to create an article here right in front of you, and I'm going to show you my insight here into my thoughts after testing the software. And I have no affiliate link, so you can trust what I say. I have no ulterior motive. I'm here simply to show you so you can make an informed decision if you should buy Contentpen.ai. Okay, so first of all, guys, let me show you how to create an article. Click here, create article here, and you can choose between generate with AI, generate in 2 steps where you first approve the outline and so on, and you can see the other options here as well. For this example, I'll just simply go here, generate with AI. Here I'll pop in my keyword, okay, how to get paid to review music, and here if I click this button here, it will generate some ideas for titles and so on. Just give this a second here. Okay, you can see. So here, how to get paid to review music, 10 legitimate ways. Cool. Yeah, I'll go for that. Boom, there. Same thing here, secondary keywords. Push this button here and it automatically generates those. Again, there's no real data here in terms of these additional keywords, like where they come from. Like, is there a search volume for these or whatever? Again, I'll just leave this here on just for this example. But you can see here, there's no real data for these in terms of, you know, how did they get these, right? What's criteria did they use to get these additional keywords? But you can see here, these were used inside the article. So obviously with LSI keywords, these seem to be quite fair. Then you have options here for pre-filling and so on, folders, but I'll ignore those and go to next. And then here, American English here, tone of voice, trustworthy, yep, cool. All these here are pulled from my knowledge base here, which you set up when you first join the software during the onboarding, okay? And then go here to next. Then here I'll say bolding, tables and lists, and then go here to next again. And I'll add a takeaway here. Now here's the first problem. Currently I'm on trial, but my trial is for the medium plan, the premium plan, which you can see here is $55. Okay, so you can see here, hang on, let's close that. Here you go. So you can see here, it's $55 here, okay? And so for $55, you cannot create an article longer than 1,800 words, which is not fantastic, I must admit, right? Because obviously, as all bloggers know, if you want to create like a really detailed, in-depth guide, then you need more than 1,800 words, typically. Not always, but most of the time. Equally, when you're fleshing out like big topics where you need to have pillar pages and, you know, big authority-driven pieces, they need to be longer, okay? And so that means that you're basically forced to upgrade to the agency license of this here. Otherwise, you couldn't do it, okay? So yeah, but anyway, I'll go next here. And then here I'll say yes, add a featured image here, go for realistic, in articles, yes, realistic, fine. And go to next here. And then here, internal linking and so on. Again, I haven't got a sitemap here, so I'll exclude that for now. And then go to next here, and then go to create. And this will now go and create this. Now, you can see here, I've already tested with 2 articles here before, and this here takes a very long time. In fact, the first 2 articles I created inside here as part of my test took almost 2 hours to generate, right? Why? I don't really know, because it says here it should take about 8 to 12 minutes, but the first 2 I created took almost 2 hours to generate here for whatever reason, okay? And so, yes, just be aware of that. And while this is generating, here on the left, you can see here you have various keywords here. You can do keyword research here. So I can search for get paid to review music here. And you can see no matching keywords, which is not really helpful because have I got filters on here? Don't think so. There's no filters on here at all. I haven't touched them anyway. You can see here there's nothing, which seems a bit strange. So maybe I've done something wrong here, but it seems very strange that I can't just, it's only got 600 keywords total. I'm not quite sure what's happened here at all. This may be tied into my knowledge base because I changed this here earlier, so it may be tied into there. Regardless, it's a bit of a bug because on the first time when I was testing this here for the website, I just put in, if I go here to settings here, Here, I changed it here towards that random site, the Money Saving Expert. That's not my site. When I first did my first test here, I just put in google.com. And you can see now the keywords here are now still tailored to Google, right? And again, but there's only 625. I don't know why that is. It's very, very strange. So here now, if I, okay, so generate here. So now you can see it's generating new keywords. But again, it's a very strange way of doing it. Because if I go in here to a tool like SEMrush, or you have things like Ubersuggest, right? I can just go and search for a keyword and it comes back with data. I can just search for a keyword. Whereas here, it's quite strange because here you can see now it's generating, you have to like generate them and you only get a limited number of keywords. It's very, very strange and I'm not quite sure what's happening there. But anyway, here under opportunities here and analytics, under opportunities, analytics, you can go ahead and connect up your Google Search Console and your Google Analytics there to pull in data from your existing traffic if you have any. Okay, both will be very cool. And you can see here, we'll sync up to 16 months of data. Totally cool, and that will show you different things there as well. Okay, and so see if this Google here is done. So you can see there now it says success here. So it's now okay. So now it's imported a bunch of keywords here, I think. Okay, so it's mixed up all the keywords with the Google keywords. But you can see again, it is quite strange. You have to like generate them. So we're here again now. Okay, generate more keywords here about these topics here. Generate again. So you can see it's not very intuitive. It's quite clunky and strange because, like I said before, if I go here to SEMrush and I want to search here keyword overview, if I want to search for keyword here, all I do is just put in the keyword search, and it comes up with thousands and thousands and thousands of keywords, right? Here you can see here, right? It comes up with whatever it is, okay? And I can then click on this here and click on this here and get more keywords. And digging into this here, you can get thousands and thousands and thousands of different keywords, right? Whereas here it seems like it's quite odd. I'm not quite sure what's happening. I have to go here now and delete the old ones. So I have to go and delete this here, like so. And I can't click on them either to sort of further dig into these. So it's quite a strange setup here. I'm sure it'll take a bit of tweaking and so on, but again, it's not very intuitive. And again, I tested some of these search terms here against other tools, and the results vary drastically. So again, this keyword research part here, kind of not very valuable to me at all. And so again, I wouldn't put too much credence on that at all. Here obviously you have your knowledge base. Now again, I will point out here under the pricing structure, you can see the knowledge base is not included in the lower plan, which kind of makes the lower plan completely redundant because you cannot create content without having knowledge base. Because otherwise, how will the tool know who you are, what you do, what your background is, and what your authority is, what your experience is, and so on, so on, so on. So that means you have to have the premium plan, otherwise it's worthless, right? And that means, of course, here about your brand, your target audience, so on, and content strategy. Again, it doesn't really give any place here for you to add information about you. Here, under documents, here you can see here using null space, the processes. So here, I'm guessing I could upload my sort of persona about me, my experience, what I have, because obviously if you're doing blogging, as you all know, your authority is the absolute top marker of you. So it means that you have to let your authority ooze into your content, otherwise there's no relevancy there at all, right? Because it's a big part of the EEAT ranking metrics of the expert and authority and trust, right, and so on. So it's very important to have that. And again, it's not that intuitive here. You can see upload documents, PDFs, files to use as null space. Okay, the system will process and index these to enhance your blog post with relevant information and smart references. AI will use this here. Again, it doesn't specifically say upload information about you. It just says files. So as with any other AI tool, I'm going to assume that means you can upload your about me content, your history, your qualifications, and all that stuff there as well. Okay. Now, Here you can see this here is still processing. So what I'll do, I'll come back here in like 10-15 minutes and hopefully this is done. And then we can evaluate the output here. And also what I've done is I've created a prompt here inside the ChatGPT to help me here act as a senior SEO auditor. And I'm going to take it through all these steps here to see and give it a ranking out of 100 to establish, is the search intent there? Is it helpful content? Is it following the EEAT and sort of ranking metrics? Is there originality there? Is the on-page SEO quality high? And so on, so on, so on. So I can come back with a score of 100, and so you can see what's happening there. Now, obviously, one big pinch of salt to take with us here. Obviously, this is a very large prompt, and so and also don't forget here inside here. This article here, how to get paid to review music, I have not uploaded here any kind of personal references or authority-driven stuff. So that is not inside the article, okay? But I'm just doing this here as an example to show you how this prompt can help dissect the content to help you understand, is it actually creating good content? Because typically what happens in my experience when I use these kind of all-in-one SEO article writing tools is that it tends to just fill the word count to fill the word count. All right, yeah, I'll come back in a second and we'll see what happens here. Okay. Oh, I think it's actually finished here now already. So if I refresh the page here, boom, done. Okay, sweet. It's done there. So now if I go inside here, you can see I can now go ahead and read through this here real quick, and I'll come back in a second here and see what I think of this content, and so you can see if it's any good. Okay, so first of all, here you can see it is 2,700 words, which is very strange because I asked for maximum of 1,800. So if I go here to outline here, you can see here maximum 1,800. So it's giving me more, which is 1,000 words more, which is very strange. I'm not going to turn down, but at the same time, it shows it's quite inaccurate, right? Here on the right hand side, you can go to Ask AI, and you can ask it to rewrite this line here, or again, you can use like any other AI tool to rewrite things. But if I just grab all this here and copy that, and here's what you can see here. You can actually go ahead and find external links here. You can go and find internal links. You go ahead and ask AI to regenerate, improve, simplify, and so on, right? You can do all the things in here as well, which is great. But I'm going to go ahead here and use this prompt here to analyze this entire article to come back with an SEO score, okay? And so I'm just going to go head over to Claude now and do that, and I'll come back in a second. Okay, so this here is now working through the audit of the article while I was doing that thing. I'm going to come back here again now, and I'm going to show you a thing here under the SEO score on the right hand side here. You can see here the SEO score comes back here. And you can see according to this is a great article, right? A good article, 85%. According to this, it comes here. Yeah, it's got the keyword data in there. You can see here. This is very strange. It says here it's got the primary keyword in the URL, but it hasn't actually got a URL yet. This here is not published yet on any blog. So how can I have the keyword in the URL when it's not even there yet? Like I haven't published here. I have not published this here anywhere yet. So you can't have the keyword in the URL because it's not live yet. Right? Okay. So that's kind of nonsense that these tools often create here, just to sort of tick the boxes and create this metric here, which is kind of pointless. Okay. Same as well, URL structure. No, there is no URL structure here. Call to action, there's no call to action here because I've got nothing to give call to action to. There's no lead magnet in here. There's no call to action to buy anything here. So there is no call to actions here at all, okay? Yet it's saying, yeah, 4 out of 4, 3 out of 3. So you can see here, these stats here mean nothing, right? In that sense, okay? And then if I go here now to Claude again and come down to the bottom here, you can see here, it goes through here, the EEAT, here structure, headline, readability, and so on. If I go right on the bottom here, actually here, you can see here, right? It gives us 6 out of 100, okay? Notably here, the EEAT is the lowest score, okay, which is probably fair enough because obviously I've not uploaded any kind of knowledge-based material about my own expertise and so on. But you can see the rest of it here, it's okay, but it's not great. Okay, down the bottom here, let's find the final score here. Okay, I think it's actually still writing. here it comes back with more sort of 10 specific improvements to increase the score. So you can see here now, include personal earnings data, add a worked example, create a comparison table, add screenshots and so on, attribute the quotes, equalize depth. So you can see here, there's a lot to change here. There's a lot to improve on. So with that in mind, with all this here needs to be improved on, is there any actual point here to be using this AI tool? Because you have to rewrite it all anyway, okay? And so it's one of those things for me, it's a case of, when I look at the score here, so I'm going to find the final score. Right here you can see 66 out of 100. Now I have to go inside here and rewrite all of it, basically, and start adding all the bits and pieces. Now, it's a lot more clunkier to do it in here than it is just to use Claude. Because obviously inside Claude, I can turn the article into a document and then use surgical editing to change certain spots. And also inside Claude, you can obviously go here and create, under here, projects here, and create basically a full knowledge base of my own inside Claude about me, and write stuff here much, much easier than I can do here. Okay? And so it's very important to understand that with these kind of Contentpen.ai and all these SEO tools, they look and sound great because they have these kind of, oh, the SEO score, wow, it's great. No, it's not great. It's not. Right? Because it has all these vanity metrics here that don't actually mean anything, right? And so it's that kind of thing of, those kind of metrics, right? So when I read through this here, for me personally, it doesn't really do much for me here. And it does just pull in data that is basically already in the top 10 in Google anyway, because I know this topic quite well. And so I know this here already. I know this one here already. I know this. It's just pulling in data from top 10 already. It's not actually adding any sort of originality here to this here at all. Okay, and so, and here you can see as well that it's actually added in a reference here to my own site. It's not my own site, but my demo site as the main reference point of where you should go. Even though that has nothing to do with keywords. Even the AI tool here says you have to remove it. Okay. Here you can see here, the number one thing is said here, 5 lines or sections that should be rewritten here. Don't mention that, all right? Because it's not relevant. It's misleading. And you can see here, but this here is the number one thing is mentioned. So you can see that kind of thing it makes these kind of tools here, in my opinion, very, very pointless, because it has all these little gadgets here and table content and all these things here that don't mean anything. It looks great and so it's fun, right? But it doesn't actually mean anything, right? So for me right now, if I was to connect this here to my WordPress site and automatically import this, yeah, it saves me 5 minutes of not adding in the meta title. It saves me 5 minutes of not adding in the meta description. It saves me 35 seconds and so on, but it doesn't actually do anything, right? And all the stuff there I can do my own in literally seconds, again, using Claude or any other AI tool, okay? But one thing I will say is the one warning sign for me about this software is if I go to Whois and you can search for this domain name here, you can see it's still very, very brand new. You can see here it was first registered 2 years ago roughly, and so the tool itself is very, very new. Whereas other tools like, for example here, Surfer SEO, it does the exact same thing, has been around for a long, long time, right? Much, much longer. And these here are more established. So tools like the Surfer SEO, I'm not affiliated. I have no affiliate link for you, right? But in my opinion, these guys are really a better option for you guys because here, like I said before, the first 2 articles I generated here took over 2 hours to generate, and they weren't very good at all. And also here you can see, if I go to the home page here of Contentpen, and I go to resources here, and I go to their own blog, right? If I open up their own blog posts here, right, you can see that their own content is, it's okay. It's not amazing. But you can see here, if I go actually and search for their domain name here inside SEO tools, okay, you can see if I go to domain search here, and if I just pop in here, you can see that they are ranking themselves. You can see here they've got domain authority and so on, and so authority score 32. And here you can see their traffic is increasing, because they're still very, very new, right? So obviously they're only 2 years old, so they can't have much traffic yet. But the fact that their own traffic here, you can see as well, if we go into here, you can see inside, it was just here you can see their own traffic is increasing, which is great. So obviously they do know what they're talking about. Here you can see some of the things they're ranking for, right? But the point being is that I am very curious to know if they actually use their own software, if they use this to generate their own content. I'm curious about that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I can't. There's no way for me to know. But it is encouraging to see that their own content is ranking in Google, which is obviously a very good thing. If it wasn't, that would be a big red sign, red flag, right? But it is. My only concern is that it is still a very, very brand new software, so it may have some bugs in there currently that may not be that good for you. But for me, guys, after testing 3 articles here inside, it's okay. That's the main thing. Personally, what I would say is it would be much, much better for you to either use a more established software like surfer.co or simply go inside Claude and create a project here on the left here, create a project inside, upload, use AI tools to collect all the latest stats and resources from Google about all the latest SEO stuff, and simply use Claude because it's much faster, much better. You can use surgical editing to edit one line at a time, and you can have your voice much more inside there as well. And it's much more fluid and simpler to use. Okay, with this here, it's a bit more clunky, and it's not going to be that accurate to your overall brand and your knowledge as well. Okay, so guys, anyway, I hope this is helpful for you, and yeah, I'll see you in the next review. Okay, cheers.